Tonight we are next door to the Marion Square to watch a wonderful event occur. The removal of John C. Calhoun. So 3 years ago, my daughter and I were walking around the square and we were shocked and horrified that it was after Mother Emanuel's event, the church event. There was no memorial to slavery or Jim Crow or any acknowledgement of the history of racism in the city. There was a Holocaust museum and then all these Confederate statues. And we were shocked, and that's when we got to meet the mayor, and it's been a 3-year process, and this is the culmination of a wonderful 3-year process.
Sign of oppression flying in the sky over top of people. It's a long time coming down. Every couple of years it seems to come back up, and every couple of years there's not enough passion behind it to get rid of it. And this year there's enough. There's enough of a movement, there's enough people behind it, enough people talking and not being silent.
These types of monuments have been here to represent only a fraction of the citizens of this great nation. It's come to a good time right now where we've all understand that these things need to come down, put it in a museum, put it somewhere. History will not be erased, but real history will be exposed.
We are watching them remove the Calhoun statue finally after all these years. It took an uprising and a little bit of violence, but it's coming down, and hopefully it is indicative of systemic change.
I think symbols are not the most important, but they have huge relevance. I think you've got to do the hard work, but symbols are an important step in the process. And this is hopefully the start of a process of moving to a healthier relationship and respect for all kinds of people.
The purpose of this resolution is not to discard any of our past, but to honor our lessons, not to erase any of that history, but to write a new chapter in history. And unlike cities we've seen now that were just mentioned where statues have been pulled down and destroyed, this motion will preserve and protect the statue actually, and put it in a place, an appropriate place, where its history can be told, not from a high tower towering over the city, but in a place where that contextualization can occur.
Our council made a very bold move tonight to take the statue down, and I believe that that John C. Calhoun represents an open wound for America and our city that has been open for a long time, and I do believe in my heart that when he comes down, that wound starts to heal us. And I know it's just a statue, but it's more than that. And this, by coming down, this wound in us starts to heal, and it enables us to move forward with yes, other issues that we need to address in this city and in this country and in every state.
Mr. Mayor, you want us to bring a camera up there?
Sure, you can.
We'll be there shortly.
Mayor Tecklenburg here on a momentous night, actually now early morning, as we're just preparing the setup to take down, to relocate the John C. Calhoun statue overlooking the city of Charleston for these last 124 years. It's an amazing story. It seems a little surreal to me, to be honest with you, as this is going on, as this has been in the hearts and minds of many of our citizens really for generations. The fact that earlier this very evening, a unanimous decision by City Council after very healthy, robust discussion and comments about the history, the impact that this statue has had over our city and our citizens, its relationship to that wound of racism and slavery that Mr. Calhoun espoused in his beliefs. He was really the intellectual underpinning of the perpetuation of slavery and the true meaning, if you will, of a white supremacist. I mean, he outlined how the races were different in his mind, and it's just foreign to our modern thought. And so to have this statue continue to domineer the skyline here and overlook our city, that's just not what we needed for generations to come. And I was thinking 50 years out, 100 years out, if we weren't doing this tonight, if this statue were to remain and continue that oppressive stance and view over our city, how terrible a thing that would be. So some folks have made this complaint that somehow we're getting rid of history or erasing history. What we're doing here tonight is writing history. We're creating a new chapter of history for the city of Charleston and its citizens, one of respect, one where we're not looking down upon each other, where we're working together and have the opportunity to collaborate. Are we in a state of perfection? Hell no. We got so many things to work on, but at least we need to be transparent, acknowledge those things, and work on them together. And this is an important step for us really to be able to move forward with actions of that kind on all kinds of matters in our society and our city, like criminal justice and our education system and housing, but most importantly, I would say economic empowerment to lift all boats in our community. So I'm excited, I'm exhilarated tonight. I hadn't had a lot of sleep lately, but I'm still exhilarated. This is a historic moment, and I'm glad you're able to share it with us.